up no solid plan. Spins a yarn, regains a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Oh, boy.
Well, you live by the dog, you die by the dog. Keep battling. And just keep battling and keep battling.
Quack, quack.
Lucky?
You just have to draw your own conclusions, people.
Yeah, Rosie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Thank you, Frankfurt. Thank you, Moscow. Thank you, Rio de Janeiro. Thank you, Havana. Thank you, Acapulco. Thank you, Warsaw. Thank you, Transylvania. Thank you, Walla Walla.
Hey, who is Johnny King?
Talk about guys stealing from 1 to 3. You ought to pay that station to be on there.
It was a nice run.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah! What do you think of my defense now? Ah!
Okay, calm down.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
He's also a radio diner, or he would be me. I oftentimes talk in the third person. You know you've really made it when you refer to yourself in the third person. It's weird. It just sort of happens sometimes because you realize you're larger than life. It also means the only thing bigger than your ego is your prostate. Certainly in my case, I'm common. He's tend to be here until 3. The legendary Mark Rosen gutty effort yesterday. Found a way to come in. He had a cane. All they needed was a top hat, and he could have, and because he's tall enough to be the Planters Peanut guy. You ever see the Planters Peanut guy?
Oh, yeah.
He looks a little like the Planters Peanut guy.
You got some length to him.
Yeah. So he was there. I mean, I'm assuming he's in today. He said, you know, I liked it. He basically, you know, we kind of doubted him a little bit by saying, I mean, I guess I was just very cynical. We thought he'd milk it as long as he possibly could. You know, just like, you know, look, this is great. I never have to leave the house. I can just tune in on Square Link or Town Square. What's it called again? The contraption he uses. I think it's Town Square. StreamYard. Town Square, whatever. StreamYard. And then he just clicks on, clicks off. But he said he was going stir crazy by not leaving the home, and I would guess that would be after a while. So he was in. We're expecting him to come in again today. Hopefully he will follow the lead of LaMelo Ball and try to call LeBron. You sent me that. Somebody's reporting that LaMelo has reached out to LeBron.
Oh, boy.
Is that a positive or a negative?
I was going to say.
Well, do you think maybe the Wolves said, "What? Don't do that. Don't. Why did you do that?" Why did you reach out to him? We had him almost convinced to come here, and then you called him. Why did you do that? I really don't know what LaMelo's reputation is around the league. I know more about his dad than I know about LaMelo, right? They call him LaMelo Yellow. Quite right, Slim. They call him LaMelo Yellow. That should be his.
I always love that one.
Do they do walk-ups? Why don't they do walk-up music for free throws? They do when a guy goes to the plate, right? They always have walk-up music. Why don't when you go to the free throw line? They call him LaMelo Yellow. Quite right, Slim. Or they could say, they call him LaMelo Yellow. Nothing but net. But anyway.
Well, the problem is, if you do that in OKC, you get sick of hearing the same song 30 different times for SGA. And just over and over. Just hear the same song over and over again.
For Edwards, it would be when the ants go marching in. Was there a song called The Ants Go Marching In? I thought
the Saints go marching in.
Oh, when the ants go marching in.
I think Dave Matthews Band has an ants marching song.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Is that what the tattoo is on Meat Sauce's
Correct.
leg? Is that for Dave Matthews Band?
Yes.
Just saw Dave Ryan, the legendary Dave Ryan, retired. He has 2 tattoos on his. I mean, he wasn't wearing any pants. Well, let me take that back. He had pants that were shorts. So I don't think he would mind that. He's got one is one of those old microphones. It's not a Neumann. See, if I were to get a tattoo of a microphone, it'd be a Neumann DCM 104 Neumann microphone. He had one of those old school ones, right? And the other one was a boombox. That's old school, man. That's his tattoos. Dave's a radio guy. I guess I'm a radio. I've been in the business since I was 22 years old, all of 22, and I'm 6'7" now. But I've never I know there are people. Wow, man, I love radio. So cool to be in radio, spinning hot stacks of wax. I just liked that it wasn't work. It's just it was either that or buffing helmets at Norcon for $2.10 an hour. I've recanted that tale before, how hard that job was. It was just physically demanding. Just, dirty, grimy, just, Just didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted a job that didn't seem like work. And that's like, Teddy, I know it's work for you to work with me. I get that. But I mean, really, it's certainly not physically demanding, right? And you just come in and you just chat and talk and then you move on with your life. So, but yeah,
it's mental and emotionally demanding.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure.
And psychologically demanding.
Psychologically, yeah. Maybe that's even worse. Maybe you should go try to find one of those 8 to 4 manual labor jobs. It might work better for you. You might like it more. But it was good to see Dave Ryan. You know when he's been retired 2 weeks, he's already wandering around the station. I think he's already bored with retirement. Right?
Sure.
And people say that all the time, that when you retire, before you expire, and things seem like they're dire, you got to keep busy. You got to have something to do, because people such. I'd like to give it a try for a while. I really would. Though again, this is, I'm not complaining. It's Woodbury Problems. It's a pretty good gig if you can get it. But I haven't.
My goal throughout my retirement has always been to retire so I can golf every day.
Right.
Which one you already do.
Correct.
But 2, I do think after like 3 weeks of golfing every day, I'd be like, I need to find something else to do.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. That's funny you should say that, because I've talked to people that have said, I don't think I could golf every single day like that. And I oftentimes, there will be times where I'll be looking over a putt and I'll go, what day is it? What hole? Why am I, as I've played hundreds. I've played thousands of rounds of golf. But I still don't.
You treat it like the Wolves are treating a regular season game.
That's exactly right. But here's what I will tell you. I still enjoy getting up in the morning, even though as I get up, get out of bed, and drag a comb across my head. And then I enjoy it. I like going. I like walking. I like talking. You know that. I talk all the time too. So yeah, but it's been bad lately. There's been no Wheeler topic, so we'll probably go there another day. No. So how about that Twins club? Tennessee, they're back. They took it to is it Cleveland they're playing still?
Yes.
Because I haven't. It's one of those things. When they say you can't bear to watch, and then the old something like Power Trip Morning Show would do. If they did a video where you put your hands over your eyes and then you pull 2 fingers away so you can just see it through a little, like looking through the blinds of a window, right? That's about all I can do with the Twins after that start. But last night, and they were down 3-1 early, and it was like, because for me, tend to be more than anything, everybody approaches sports your whole life, just sports another way. Like yesterday, I got an email from a guy last night. You know what he said? You can only have one team per sport. Dem's the rules, Dan. And I texted him back, I don't pay no attention to who are you. What do you mean there's no rules when it comes to rooting for teams? Just because you feel like I can only root for one team, knock yourself out. I've told you my favorite team has won the big game every year because that's a 2-minute warning. Whoever's winning, that's my club. Deuce and I just jump on that bandwagon. It's so much fun to do it that way. But I just want to see Tom Pohlad tested as an owner. He said all the right things so far. He really has. I mean, and again, that's what is it just lip service? Oh, I got to patch things up with the fan base, and we want to win. We don't want to just contend. We want to win championships. That's what I want to do. And we need to do this and we need to do that. And if you'll remember, he had said much earlier, and I probably have the quote somewhere in my handheld, which doubles as a communication device, or my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device, about he echoed. He just said it in a different way. What you and I've said forever. Yeah, we know you ain't going to have the biggest payroll every year. We know that. But when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, when it's the age of Aquarius, when everything seems to be right, well, then you go ahead and say, let's go get somebody. Let's give it a shot. And he's claimed he would do that. And now when you lose the first 4 out of 5 at the All-Star break, now it's like, well, they're probably going to be sellers now. Don't say that. We want them to win more. So I just want to test. It's not new ownership. It's a new member of the Pohlad family in charge. I'd like to see him get on a little bit of a roll here by August 3rd, like win the next 4, 5, 6 games. And then it's like, okay, what are you going to do? And no, I know they're not going to trade for Ohtani because A's not available and 2, he wouldn't be a good fit here. We know that already. But I'd like to see where, it's the old tend to be put your money where your mouth is. And they got plenty of money. They just generally don't spend it. But nevertheless, that's that. We got plenty to get to today. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I do a little distat lat, including Peek at the Purple. But right now, tend to be as a keyword. Our keyword is brought to you by our friends at BigDeck.com. Get your deck on.
Yeah, the fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword fun at KFAN.com now for your shot to win. That keyword is fun. Enter now at KFAN.com.
The Common Man.
It's funny. It's got emotion. I was crying to it.
Bonus Box is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Box is presented by BigDeck.com.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He is 10 to be. And this is noon to 3. Though really we pretty much start mailing it in about 1:30. So you could say maybe even a little early, but let's go 1:30. Noon to 1:30. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. And I'm, been telling you that, the heat's coming back again. Probably saw it over the weekend. We're going to get in the 90s again. And when those temperatures climb, your air conditioner starts working overtime, workout. And so does your electrical panel. If your breakers trip like a whole multicolored galaxy of uppers and downers and screamers and laughers when the AC kicks in, or your lights dim during peak heat, your system may be overloaded. So Affordable Electric can handle panel upgrades, dedicated circuits, and troubleshooting to keep your home running safely all summer long. 612-331-VOLT. That's 612-331-VOLT. Or online at affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric, a power done right, and they are shockingly affordable. Andrew Kramer, want to thank Andrew Kramer, Fish Wrap Factory Westside, for doing my show prep today. for Peek at the Purple. Here's 10 questions facing the Vikings in training camp. Only 2 are about the quarterbacks. How about that? Of the 10 questions, only 2 are about the quarterbacks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think you had to. This was probably one of those where you had to burn the midnight oil to find. Well, to find questions other than the quarterback, but I think they probably do have question marks pretty much everywhere. And the one is about quarterbacks. Will there be improved quarterback play? If it's Murray, how will he adapt to O'Connell's offense, or how will O'Connell adapt to Murray? If McCarthy wins the job, how has he improved with his footwork, his posture, his awareness in the pocket, and his throwing mechanics? These are facets of the game all quarterbacks were fine, but McCarthy's were not consistently in NFL starter levels during his first 10 starts last season, which begs the question again, didn't they see this ahead of time? I mean, they're breaking down film. Did they not look at it and go, this guy needs a lot of work? Or like when they did work with him in the offseason prior to his first season as quarterback, or when he got injured, maybe got injured, missed the whole year with the knee thing, maybe they had been working and saw some improvement. Now they got to go back to the drawing board. But, that also goes back to, your personnel and scouting people and your GM and whoever's kind of in charge. Because, how it's been explained to me is, and I understand this, if you're the head coach, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, linebackers, coaches, when you're during the season, you're pretty focused on your own club. You don't have time to go, let's, now that we've, put the game plan together for the Bears, let's sit back and watch a half a dozen SEC football games and see who the best players are. So the scouting and personnel people, I think they come with their, I'm assuming it goes something like, you're the head coach and I'm your, I'm the guy that's in charge of offensive linemen. And I go, here's the 10 best offensive linemen I think in college football. Here they are. Now it's your time during the offseason to break it all down. But they missed something with McCarthy, obviously. And then with Murray, it's also brought up here, and you and I have discussed this. What's easier? Quarterback adapt to a new system, or a coach to change a system to accommodate a quarterback? And I still feel like I think you can maybe blend the both together. It's not like one guy gets a free pass.
Got to compromise.
Yeah, you got to compromise a little bit, but I still think your coach is a coach for a reason, because he's a pretty bright guy. He understands X's and O's. He knows strengths and weaknesses of his offensive line, his receiving core, the tight end room, the quarterback room, running back. So you kind of get a feel for it. So I would think if you have a quarterback, to me it would be kind of fun too. If you're a quarterback, like I know that, O'Connell, having been a quarterback and coming from the McVay tree where they throw the ball a lot, and it's more exciting. Fans like it too, especially fantasy. So you like throwing the football. But to me, it'd be kind of fun. Like, I got a little different guy here now. This is good. He's got a decent arm. He's pretty good. He can throw. He's shown that. But you know what? He can run a little bit. And according to someone who works on this radio station from 9 to noon, he said it again today. I saw he was nominated for a preposterous statement. Best running quarterback since Mike Vick.
He did not say that.
Well, that's what. It's funny.
You've got to be
kidding me. That's how I responded to the email. I love to respond to emailers with this when they give me PSTs. I'll say
best running quarterback since Mike Vick.
Yeah. And so what I send back to this guy, and if you ever send me a PST, 9 out of 10 times this will be my initial response. He didn't say that. ... You're making that up. ... You have to be, and have is capitalized. But then again, knowing PA, because Kyler Murray is now wearing purple, I don't know if it's just purple propaganda, or he may really believe it. Or maybe somebody there at Winter Park told him that.
Kyler is an above average running quarterback.
Yes.
But, have you watched Lamar Jackson? I don't think there's a competition there.
And, if we started to...
And you could say Lamar Jackson's better than Vic.
Yeah. And if we started to, let's put our thinking caps on, or because it's football, our thinking helmets on. What's the name of that helmet that looks like it's like a big pillow?
Kind of like that concussion helmet?
Yeah, but there's a name for it. I can't remember what the name of that helmet is. I'd like to know so I can say, instead of thinking cap for football, I can say, is it a Kevlar helmet? No, Kevlar is bulletproof stuff, I think. And Kevlar is what bulletproof vests are made out of. There's a name for that.
Guardian cap?
Guardian cap. Tend to be put your guardian cap on. We could probably come up with a half a dozen quarterbacks just over the past 10 years, you could say, they're certainly as good as Murray as, if not better. But that is an attribute and an asset that is, God, if you got a guy that can run and throw, it is. You just don't want to run him too much. We talked about the kid for Washington all this year, RG3. A little bit too much reliant on the run, and then all of a sudden you bust up your knees a couple of times, your career's over. It's done. You're donezo. So, did I tell you that when Deuce and I are watching Lions games, anytime Jahmyr Gibbs gets out in the open and then he's about to be tackled, Deuce will start going, get down, get down, get down. Because he's worried that he's going to get his knee shredded. You know when you see the guy when they show the replay, after the guy's taken off on the stretcher, and you watch the replay, and he's going to the left, but his right knee is going to the right, and you just can't. That's the looking through the blinds thing I was talking about, where you put your hands over your eyes and you just peek through your fingers because you got to see it. I mean, and so anytime a quarterback gets out of the pocket and starts sprinting down the field, that's the first thing that goes through my mind is, here's ACL, MCL right now. Don't do it. Go down, go down, go down, go down. So it's nice to have a quarterback. For me, it's more not so much running. It's the mobility to move and buy time. But, yeah, it's great when all of a sudden you drop back in the pocket, coverage is good, and there's a little bit of an opening there. Doesn't even have to be Red Sea-like Moses, but just enough where you go, I can get like Mahomes is that kind of a guy, right? Mahomes is the kind of guy where he's not running all the time, but when he drops back to pass and the coverage is good or the protection breaks down, he can turn and churn and he can dance and prance and buy some time and maybe pick up a first down. Josh Allen can do that. He's got the ability to do it. Jared Goff can't do that. Aaron Rodgers used to be able to do that. He can't do that anymore. But, yeah, it's nice to have a guy that has that mobility. But I don't know. So we'll see. My guess is there will be a compromise, Ken. I think that's probably the best way to say it is that Kyler...
If he's even the starting quarterback.
Well, if he's even the starting quarterback. Well, I even saw, I don't know if it was in this piece, but I saw another piece today about how, I think it might have been Randball doing the old, where does Wentz fit into the picture? Because, PA, of course, has been talking about, and Lieber, too. What do they know that we don't, Timmy? They basically, it seems like they're almost suggesting, that he's the best quarterback to have. If that's the case.
If he is, we're in trouble.
That's what I was going to say. I think we're in trouble. And really, I harbor no ill will toward Carson Wentz, and I'm really not trying to be a Richard. It's just, I don't, he had his better days a long time ago. So he's tough. He's a tough, man. Last year to play like he was, he's got a brace. He's got one of those harnesses. I mean, the only thing he wasn't wearing was the guardian cap. But Peek at the Purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your all of them, every electrical need you have, they can handle it at Affordable Electric. A 612-331-VOLT, V-O-L-T, or affordable-electric.com. Shockingly affordable. More controversial Vikings news next.
The Common Man.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
The KFAN YouTube channel for exclusive videos, in-depth takes, initials,
it's so funny, the initials,
and password games, and behind-the-scenes content. Search KFAN on YouTube and hit subscribe today.
Do you have any tissue? Facial tissue? I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. You'll laugh so much your side will ache. Your heart will go pity-pat. It's like watching Felix. Felix the cat. What is the, now I missed it. There's something about the AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League or something. What is that now?
Like a professional league?
I don't know. This isn't it on TV. They're showing right now, they're showing the Little League Softball World Series.
I'm watching
regionals.
The Twins game.
Oh, they playing today?
Yeah, 1261.
They have a getaway. I'd rather watch this. Rhode Island and Yukon. Can you just look up real quick? Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Something about a play-in game. There are too many leagues and too many sports. Don't we have enough with just the Major Four and the WNBA? Isn't that enough? Did I have that right? Is it the Athletes Unlimited Softball League? I don't know. It just was.
Well, yeah, it's the premier professional women's softball league in the United States, featuring 6 teams: the Bandits, Blaze, Cascade, Oklahoma City Spark, Talons, and Volts.
Volts? Or Bolts?
Volts.
Volts.
With a V.
You know what they are? They're shockingly affordable. When will it end?
I'm just on their website right now.
I mean, and more power to them. But that's great if you like it. You know, everybody. You know what? I still want to see the athletes.
The postseason's beginning today.
Yes, they're having a play-in game today. Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago Bandits and Portland
That's
Cascade
correct. It's on later
in a
today.
winner-go-home play-in game tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Deportes.
Yeah, and also on ESPN 6-7. Yeah. There's a league for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm waiting for it. You know what I told you about the wheelbarrow race? I have my idea for the Olympics with the wheelbarrow race and the 3-legged race. I wish the Athletes Unlimited would do that. I'd actually
You should just start your own league, yeah.
I want you to do something else for me, too.
Oh, boy.
Well, this should be easy. Someone says that, you ask and you shall receive. Could we get a 3M Open tournament update just like the Masters?
Sure.
We do the Masters. We do all the majors. Masters, PGA, U.S. Open, and Open Championship. Scotty was lurking early. He teed off at like 7:39 this morning. He was in the front end today, started on 10. And I think at one point he was 5 under, a shot off the lead. My assumption is he's going to win. If he puts his mind to it, I mean, there are other talented players in that field. Matsuyama's won a major. I don't know if there are any other major winners in the field. There might be that I just don't recall. But I do know Matsuyama has won the Masters. And Scotty's won 4 majors, right? Or is it more than that now? He's won a couple of jackets, and he's missing the U.S. Open, I think. I think he's won a PGA, a claret jug, and a couple of jackets. Someone told me Scotty with the breeze, 65.
Yeah, I have the leaderboard in front of me.
Okay.
He's 1 shot off the lead. Okay. Your leader is Emiliano Grillo.
Oh, I know that name.
He is 7 under through 16. He actually bogeyed 16, his first bogey of the day. He was at 8 under, but he's still on the course with 2 holes to go, including that par 5 18th. Then you have a couple at 6 under, Scotty Scheffler, Lucas Glover, and Chandler Phillips. Phillips still on the course. He's 6 under through 15. Michael Brennan, Denny McCarthy, Trace Crow, all at 5 under. And still a good chunk of the field hasn't even teed off yet. So
Lucas Glover is also, there is another major champion. Lucas Glover won the U.S. Open in 2004, 2005, 2006, something like that. And that's another guy he's one of those older fellas that's still able to compete. He's not contending at majors anymore like that, but when he's playing in these fields that aren't as strong, his name always rises to the top. So Lucas can still get the ball in the hole. Somebody tells me AUSL is unbelievably entertaining. It's the major leagues for women coming off their college fast pitch career. I, for one, hope they continue to expand the league and are successful. And I will say, I've said this before. Teddy, you and I have watched the Women's College Softball World Series together for 20-some years. Here, because there's always games played during the day, and we watch them. I like fast pitch softball. I do. I will say, you know what? They don't need a pitch clock there. They've never needed a pitch clock. The women have always figured it out. Throw the ball, get it back, throw the ball, get it back, throw the ball. And I know that there's not a lot of offense, generally speaking. There's a lot of, that fast pitch softball. How far are they from the plate? It's not like in Major League Baseball. They're closer than that, I think. And they're throwing that thing fast, and it's hard. But, man, that ball's already there before you can even get your bat off the shoulder. So if it works. And Tony Finau has never won a major, has he?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think I wouldn't remember that. No, Tony's never won one. Tony, during the par 3 tournament at Augusta, he had a hole in one. He started prancing down the Now, I don't know if it's called a fairway on a par 3, but he's running toward the hole. He twisted his ankle. He still played, I think, but I don't think he made the cut. I think he was in trouble. So there you go.
By the way, some other notable names. Max Homa, a 1 over 72 today, which is right now tied for 71st. Okay. Only 89 golfers have even been on the course thus far.
And then local kid makes good. Muzzy Donahue, who played his high school golf at St. Thomas Academy, he tees off at 201 today,
correct,
second to the last group. We'll kind of keep you posted on Muzzy. What do you think, Tenebee? What do you think Muzzy shoots today? What would be your guess?
I don't know Muzzy's game very well.
Well, there's not much to say. He's a left-hander. He was a really good high school player, played college golf, was a good player. He's played one pro event, a PGA Americas Tour, and I think he missed the cut by a shot or two.
I'm going to say he shoots a 76.
That would be good. I mean, I would hope he does. I mean, because I was talking to somebody today, and you sometimes wonder if the moment becomes too big for you. Boy, it can go sideways in a real hurry, right?
Sure.
I mean, it just takes, you're nervous to calling your name. On the first tee from North Oaks, please welcome Muzzy Donahue. And all of a sudden the crowd's here, and all of a sudden, when he was at Dunkers at Interlochen on Tuesday, and I moderated, I asked him, he said, I just hope I don't top the ball. There may be a lot of nerves there, right? But, again, I tried to give him some sage advice. I'm sure other people told him the same thing. Just pinch yourself and grip it and rip it. Just play golf. Just, it's like, because I remember when I don't like to talk about myself, and I don't like to make it about me. I'm comfortable doing that, using myself as a comparison or an analogy. Remember the first time I ever tried to qualify for a state open? At the old Keller before the renovation, they had the white picket fence behind the first tee. Tom Purcell was the pro there at the time. Common, what you doing here? I go, well, I'm trying to qualify, really. I said, I'm really nervous. He goes, don't be nervous, Common. I go, why? He goes, well, let's face it. He was just being honest with me. He goes, you're not going to medal. You're probably not even going to make the field, so why don't you just go and have fun? And you know what? As God is my witness, I went, you're right. And I just ripped it up the middle. Yeah. Just pounded a perfect drive. Of course, after that, it didn't go very well. But yeah, it's like, and the same thing. He said during his little, appearance at Dunkers that, I know I'm not the best player in the field, and I can say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But, I'm going to go out and give it the old college try. So we'll see. We'll try to keep you abreast on that. Several people now have, what do they say? It's like when you're looking for, if someone says something, you're looking for like a second opinion, right?
Sure.
We've had 2 or 3 opinions. This one says, first this one says, had the Grum on for the first segment after picking up my nephew from basketball camp. 5 minutes in, he asked if they ever talk about sports. This could be the call I've been waiting my entire life for. This one said, Lieber today, not on the Wentz bandwagon. He thought PA was nuts for saying that he should start. Then this one says, in the same conversation with PA and Lieber, Barney said that if Wentz had a 6-game stretch, he'd go 5-1.
Oh, come on.
He did say that. I'm not joking. It was said. That's from Mandinga in the 320. And then Dan and Brainerd says, is it worthy of a PST statement during the segment with Lieber? PA said that if Wentz starts 6 games, he's going to win you 5 of them. And Lieber basically agreed with that.
Well, he should be starting then.
Well, yeah, 2 people have said that PA said if Wentz starts 6 games, he'll win 5.
Then he should be starting.
Well, sure.
We should all be clamoring for Carson Wentz.
You can't even make that up.
That's a 15-2 or 14-3 season.
And then we'd let him walk.
Why are you saying silent then?
Yeah. You know what? If he did go 14-3 or 15, we'd let him walk because KOC would say Carson has deserved a chance to test the agency. That's just insane. If he started 6 games, he'd win 5. You're right, Tennessee. Make the announcement now. Say there is no quarterback competition here. There isn't. Our starter is Carson Wentz. That's what you would say if you felt that was true. Fish Wrap Factory West Side. This is my Staff and Wire reports.
Okay.
Does that mean they didn't send anybody to Cleveland from the Fish Wrap Factory to cover the team?
Probably.
Yeah. And, all media is like that. We're all cutting back. Dateline Cleveland, Brooks Lee hit a 3-run homer. Trevor Larnach had a solo shot and 3 RBI. And the Minnesota Twins snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 10-6 win over Cleveland on Wednesday night to spoil starred third baseman Jose Ramirez's return to the Guardians. Lee connected for his 15th homer in the 4th inning. Larnach on his, and he gave up, the pitcher gave up a leadoff homer to Larnach on the 4th pitch. Lee also had an RBI single. Larnach added a 2-run single in the 8th to put the Twins ahead 9-4. Manager Derek Shelton said to be able to bounce back was a big win for us. What is the score now today? Did you say they're playing right now?
0-0 in the 3rd.
Okay, 0-0 in the 3rd. And the reason I bring up yesterday's game, because I want to talk about trade deadline coming up August 3rd. We've been talking about this off and on for the past few weeks. Twins, surprisingly to me, not to Tom Pohlad, but surprising to me, and I think maybe to you, Ted, to be that the Twins actually game under 500 going into the All-Star break, a couple of games out of first, not too far. Matter of fact, I think at the All-Star break, had that been the end of the season, they would have qualified for a wild card spot. So buyers or sellers. And Fish Wrap Factory did a story. This would have been Bobby Nightingale, the beat writer, did this July 22nd. What's the date today?
It's the 23rd.
Okay, so this was yesterday. What we're hearing about Ryan Jeffers, Joe Ryan, and other Twins trade candidates. And I scroll down, you get to Jeffers. We talked about that. Joe Ryan, 2 of the most attractive players because Jeffers can hit and catch as a catcher. That's priceless in Major League Baseball. And we all know how talented Joe Ryan is. But then they have Trevor Larnach's name, and here's what it says. Like Jeffers, Larnach could be a trade candidate even if the Twins operated as buyers. He's delivering the best season of his career, providing high-quality at-bats atop the lineup, but the Twins have a lot of left-handed hitting outfielders below on the depth chart. Trading Larnach would open more playing time for younger outfielders like Alan Roden, Walker Jenkins, Emmanuel Rodriguez, who started swinging again after he had thumb surgery. Multiple scouts question how much trade value Larnach holds, which they believe makes him more likely to stay with the Twins. He has 7 homers in 84 games, low for a corner outfielder who is graded as a below-average defender, and his salary might rise above $7 million next year through arbitration. But this is what annoys me. He's having a career year. He's finally figured out how to play major league. Now, is he a one-year wonder? We hear about the Larnachs and the help me again with all the names of these outfielders we've had over the years. Miranda, right? Larnach and Miranda and Wallners and the Brooks Leeses and the Lewises and the Kreidlers and the Clemenses. We hear about these guys and how great prospects, had a great high school, college career, did well, and then we just give up on them. And, sometimes you have to give up on them. I get that. But why would now Larnach, having a great year at the leadoff spot, he's part of the reason why the team is one of the best offenses in baseball. Why would we talk about trading him? That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe the guy's finally become a player. And not everybody can be a 5-tool star, so his defense is a little below average. Well, maybe he can pick up that up a little bit. Maybe he can work on that. I don't understand, and because, corner outfielders are supposed to have power. Well, sometimes they don't. Why does everything have to check every little single box? I would be opposed to trading Larnach. I don't know why you would want to do that. Because, and all
the lefties behind him that need playing time, they're not all going to be smash successes.
That's it. What if Larnach ends up being the best?
If you got one you like, why not trade the other ones then?
Yeah,
trade the prospects.
What if Larnach ends up being the best of the lot? And you're right, so trade the other prospects. So to me, that would be puzzling to me, especially if you feel like the team is in contention this year. And look, we all know more than, let's face it. Anybody who thinks the Twins are going to win the World Series this year, it's like you're delusional. Those stranger things have happened. But if you just want to see the team, you want to take the owner, Tom Pohlad running the club now, take his word for it that we're here to not just be in contention. We'd like to win. And then I just don't like trading guys that have shown. Now, sometimes you have to trade something to get something in return. And maybe if it was for, some bullpen, but I just don't like the idea of trading your better players. The other ones on the list.
And the reason they would trade them is because those guys are going to be making more money.
Well, that's it.
It all comes back to money.
Well, because it does say at the very end of that, you're absolutely right. At the very end of the Larnach thing, it says he has 7 homers in 84 games, low for a corner outfielder who is graded as a below-average defender, and his salary might rise above $7 million next year through arbitration. But I saw some quotes from Larnach not long ago, and I remember exactly what he said. We were just talking about how he's figuring out the hitting. You know, it's like sometimes it takes guys a little bit longer, and if you've already invested that much time and effort into the guy, why are you going to let him walk or trade? I wouldn't let him walk, but you'd be trading him. But you know, again, we'll leave that to them. But for me, this one says, I wouldn't necessarily trade Larnach, but we have studs waiting behind him in Walker Jenkins, Alan Rose, and Emmanuel Rodriguez, as noted in the article. Are they really studs, though? Are they? I know that. I know for sure the Walker Jenkins guy is highly regarded.
Yeah.
So is Royce Lewis. What has that gotten us? And now Royce is playing better again. Now, as a matter of fact, I shouldn't even say that. I don't know for sure what his numbers are. I know when he first came back from St. Paul, he was doing pretty well. He tore it up in St. Paul. He's way too good for AAA baseball. He just is. But is he good enough today and to be consistently good? He had that great stretch when he first started here. And, you know, Alan Rose and Emmanuel Rodriguez, that's great. Or Roden, did I say?
Well, it should be Roden, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are great, apparently. And I don't mind waiting on him, but I don't know.
It's okay to have some depth, too.
Yeah, that's
like how many times have we heard of injuries derailed our season again? Injuries derailed. Well, don't trade away all your depth then.
This one says, I didn't hear all the discussion, but I think the discussion was more about Wentz should get more snaps based on that he is currently better than the other guys because he knows the system better than 1 and has more experience than 9. If it's truly about the best player getting the snaps. Well, it shouldn't be about the best player getting the snaps. It's the guy that you think is going to be the... I mean, that's not...
Well, how do the other guys get experience
then? Well, that's it. Yeah, it's chicken and egg. I'm sorry. I mean, there comes a time where a player, things can change. A player can... Kurt Warner's one of the best examples. He was a Arena League football quarterback. Isn't the legend that he was stocking shelves at a grocery store?
Yep.
Went to the NFL and he won a big game. Okay. So maybe Wentz can be that guy. I don't know. Those stories are few and far between. I think once you get to this point in your career, you kind of know what you got. Tough, rugged guy that can play a little bit, but I don't know if he's a guy that can win you a big game unless you've got one of those Ravens 2000 defense or 85 Bears defense. If you have one of those, pretty much any quarterback can get you a win. Let's take a break and come back. When we do, it'll be time for 5, 3, 4. Tanner, what you got?
Can LaMelo lure LeBron?
The Common Man.
I don't mind humor. I don't mind an avant-garde broadcast. I don't even mind a broadcast